Today I'm going to run you through the documents I provided for my UK citizenship application through naturalisation. If you're new to my channel, I'm Kat from Kat's Gone Global, and I do videos on moving to the UK, London and travel. This is the second video of my little mini series of UK citizenship through naturalisation. If you missed my first video, that was about the online application form, and it'll be popping up in the card above. If not, there will be a link in the description below. The next video will be about the biometric appointment and using UK VCAS and everything around that. So make sure that you hit the bell notification to get notified when that video is available. Before we get started, just a quick disclaimer: I'm not an immigration advisor or a lawyer. I do these videos so that you can understand what to expect during the UK citizenship application. And this is tailored to my route and my visa, so the way that I have naturalized. This will change a little bit depending on how you're naturalizing, but for the most part, hopefully it gives you a sense of what to expect and the kind of documents that you need to produce. Let's start with a question I get asked all the time. Do you need to provide originals or can you provide copies? So let's jump over to what the UK VI says. So within the application forms, it says, providing your documents, you must provide your documents after submitting your application. These can be originals or copies, but any passport provided must be originals. So as you can see here, I said that a little differently, but same point. And then in my third video, I will go into how to upload the copies of your documents to the UK VCAS website, so Sephora Stereo, and run you through that process. Within the application process, you will get a checklist of documents that you need to provide for your UK citizenship, and they will tailor this to you. So let's jump over to my screen and I'll quickly run through it. So as you can see here, you've got the start section, then you've got the application where you fill in all the details, and then the documents. Here is my checklist of documentation that I need to provide, and I need to go through and checkbox all of these and ensure I have the evidence. So we'll go through them one by one because I'll explain the evidence associated with each one. So the first one is passport issued by Australia for Miss Catherine N. So I am going to provide my most recent passport for this, and it easily covers that requirement. The second item on the document checklist is to prove your level of English. So let's jump over to the screen again. So as you can see, it says the Australian passport identity card of Miss Catherine Nairn to prove the level of English language required. So prove your English language. So if you go to gov.uk English language, you will get the requirements that you need to prove. If you've previously done this, then you just need to include the documents, but if you haven't done this, then this is what you need to do. There are certain circumstances where you can be exempt, like myself, and this will tell you what nationalities are exempted. So for example, Australia is on here, Canada, New Zealand, and a few other countries. So this means that you will not have to provide any documents to prove that you can speak English. So it will just be my passport here. The next item on the list is proof of freedom from immigration time restrictions. And if we go back over to the screen, it kind of gives you a bit of an idea of what you need to provide. So your passport, that you are able to remain permanently in the UK, or other is a letter from the Home Office, your BRP card, or proof of immigration exemption, proof of exemption from immigration. So I'm just going to provide my passport and my BRP card for this requirement. The next document that you need to provide is your Life in the UK test pass notification. I did this as part of my indefinite leave to remain, and I have done a video on it, so you can check it up on the card popping up above or in the description below, and I'll just quickly show you what it looks like if you've not done it. So as you can see, here's my pass notification. Gives a bit of detail saying that I've passed and taken the test, and the test center ID. So let's go back to the document list and I can tick life in the UK, test pass notification. The next set of documents is where the bulk of your evidence will come from. So this is proof of living in the UK. So let's quickly switch over to the screen and I can run you through the information that they provide on this. So proof of living in the UK, here we go. If you are married or in a civil partnership, British citizen, you must provide evidence that you've been here for the last 3 years. If you're not married but in a civil partnership, then you must provide 5 years worth of evidence. If you are an EAA national, you need to include in letters from employers, education establishments or other government departments indicating your presence in the UK for the relevant 3 or 5 year period. If you are a non-EAA national, you need to include your passport to prove that you've lived in the UK for the relevant years again. If you do not have a passport or it was not stamped when you entered the UK, then you need to provide letters from your employment and government departments as proof. Bank statements and household bills are not proof of living in the UK. So for mine, I am going to give them my passport. So here's some stamps of my old passport showing that I am in and out of the UK. The next thing that I'm going to provide is this spreadsheet showing all the days that I have come in and out, because it's going to be really hard to map from my passport. On top of my passport stamps and spreadsheet, I decided to provide some additional information. So I am going to provide an employment letter. So let me quickly show you. So as you can see, here's my employment letter and it kind of tells you information about me. So there you go, that's nice and simple. And they just addressed it to me. And I have 2 of these. I have one for my indefinite leave to remain application and one recent one, so it's up to date. The second piece of evidence, I will go into a bit more detail. So HMRC can provide you a letter that will cover your employment history. So all you need to do is call them, and I'll leave the number in the description below, and they will send you this letter I'm about to show you. And this is a really good way to prove that you have lived in the UK for 5 years or however long you're requesting the letter for. So it will go into your employment, your tax, the tax codes, your start, your end dates, and all of this. So let's quickly just show you. So as you can see, here's the letter for the HMRC, and it goes into all of those things that I just mentioned. So it will break it down into financial tax year, and it'll just state all of that, and then there you go, and it will just give you any additional information. So this is a fantastic way to prove as a government official document. Okay, so the next letter which I am going to provide is another one from the Home Office, and this is my acceptance letter for my indefinite leave to remain. So this will cover another requirement which we'll go into in a minute, but as you can see, I've just uploaded this, and it's again another official government document to say I've been living here. The last piece of evidence I'm going to provide for this section is I am going to give them 6 P60s, so the 6 P60s I've had since working here, just as an additional source, and that will be it for my proof of living in the UK. The second last requirement is that you need 2 referees. These referees must be British, have known you for 3 years, be over the age of 25, and one has to be on the list of professionals, which I'll go through in a minute. And I will leave all of these links in the description below so you know what to expect. So just quickly head over to my screen. So good character is the requirement that you're trying to meet here, and in the AN guide you can read a bit more about it and any other information that you wish to know about naturalisation. The list of referees. So as you can see on here, this is the list of acceptable professional persons. So here is the accountant, solicitor, surveyor, those kind of things. So one of my friends is a solicitor, so I got him to sign my documents and provide me his details. So as you can see, here is the referees identity documents. So they need to basically fill out your full name and date of birth on the back of a passport photo. And then you go here, put the name of the applicant, the requirements of the referees, it will go into here, and then they must sign the declaration and put their full name and signature. Okay, so that is another document ticked off the list. The last piece of evidence that you need to provide is evidence of identity. So this will just be like your passport and things like that. One thing to note is any evidence that you use for your life in the UK test, you do need to include in your application. So let's quickly jump over to my screen. So here you can see all of the documents that you can provide. And if you have legally changed your name, then you need to provide at least one supporting document to prove this. And then, as I just mentioned, the Life in the UK test, you need to put one of these in. I use my passport, so my passport's already a part of my application, so that will be included. And that is the very last piece of evidence that you need to do. So save and continue. Now that you have seen my UK citizenship documentation and what I plan on providing, have you found this helpful? And do you have any questions? Let me know in the comments below. Give it a like if you thought this was useful, and don't forget to hit the bell notification to get notified when I post the next video in this mini series, which will be about the biometric process and UK VCAS documentation and things like that. I will have 2 videos popping up now, one about the online application and one about the Life in the UK test. So if you haven't watched those, make sure you click on them now. Thank you for watching, everybody.